She laughed when she said it. Soft. Casual. Like it was nothing. I just asked him to put sunscreen on my back. If you're so jealous about everything, just go home. The sun was brutal that afternoon. White sand. Blue water. Our friends scattered in careless clusters, drinks sweating in their hands. I watched the man's fingers glide across her skin. Slow, familiar, practiced. Not the touch of a stranger helping out. The touch of someone who knew exactly where to linger. She didn't look at me when she said it. That hurt more than the words. I stood there holding my phone, pretending to scroll. My face stayed neutral. Calm. I could feel something cold, locking into place inside my chest, like a door sealing shut. She stayed with him all day, laughing, joking, inside jokes I wasn't part of. I became furniture, background noise, a husband-shaped inconvenience. Every time I caught her eye, she looked through me. Like I'd already left. I didn't argue, didn't accuse, didn't raise my voice. That night, while everyone drank themselves into soft oblivion, I booked a flight. One way, early morning. I packed quietly, folding my clothes with surgical care. I left my ring on the nightstand. Not dramatically, just precisely. I didn't leave a note. The airport was empty. Perfect. By the time the sun rose, I was already gone. She noticed the next morning. I know because she called. 7 times I let it ring. I'd known something was wrong long before the beach. The way she guarded her phone like it held state secrets. The way laughter followed her into rooms she thought I wasn't listening to. The way she started showering longer, dressing sharper, touching me less. I told myself stories. Work stress, a phase. Marriage fatigue. Lies we tell ourselves because the truth is too expensive. But the beach stripped away the excuses. I replayed that moment on repeat during the flight. His hand, her smile. The way she didn't pull away. By the time the plane landed, I wasn't angry. I was focused. At home, I didn't confront her. I didn't respond to the flood of messages, confusion turning to irritation, irritation curdling into panic. Instead, I opened our shared accounts, phone logs, cloud backups she forgot existed. Small digital footprints people leave when they think they're safe. Patterns emerged. Late-night calls, deleted messages, a name saved under a woman's contact, creative but sloppy. He wasn't a stranger. He was a friend, someone from our circle, someone who smiled at me over dinner. I moved slowly, carefully, like someone disarming, a bomb they already knew was real. Every discovery tightened my control. By the time I finished, there was no doubt left. Only confirmation. And confirmation doesn't hurt. It clarifies. She showed up at the apartment 3 days later. Unannounced. Eyes red. Voice rehearsed. She said my name like it still belonged to her. I let her talk. She filled the silence with excuses, misunderstandings, insecurity, how I'd been distant lately. She cried at the right moments, paused when she expected comfort. I gave her none. When she finally ran out of breath, I slid my phone across the table. Not aggressively, not dramatically, just enough. She saw the screenshots first. Messages she thought were erased. Voice notes. Photos from angles I'd never stood at. Her hands started to shake. Then I placed the flight receipt on top of it. The hotel checkout time. The timestamp from the night she stayed out and told me she'd fallen asleep early. I didn't go home because I was jealous, I said calmly. I went home because I was finished. She tried to speak. Failed. Tried again. It wasn't serious, she whispered. It didn't mean anything. That's when I finally looked at her. Then why did you risk everything? Silence swallowed the room. I stood and walked to the door, pulling out the last piece she didn't know existed. A printed email, screenshotted, forwarded, time-stamped. A message from him, bragging about how easy it was, about how blind I was, about the beach. I handed it to her and opened the door. You didn't just betray me, I said. You erased yourself. She collapsed into the chair behind her, sobbing now, not because she was sorry, but because the story she'd been telling herself was over. I didn't stay to watch. Weeks passed. She tried everything. Apologies, promises, blame, love bombing, threats, silence. None of it moved me. I had already mourned her while she was still laughing, with someone else under the sun. Friends called. Some defended her. Some didn't. I corrected no one. The truth doesn't need witnesses when you've already accepted it. I filed the paperwork. Closed the accounts. Changed the locks. Clean cuts heal faster. The last message she sent came at 2:11 a.m. I don't recognize you anymore. I stared at the screen for a long time before typing back. You never did. Then I blocked her. Yes. Sometimes I think about that day at the beach. The sun, the laughter, the way she told me to go home. She was right. I just went home to myself instead, and I never looked back.